All right, we are live. Thank you everyone for tuning in here and for being patient. I was running a few minutes behind there. I'll tell you that story in just a second. But those of you that are tuning in, please say hello. Would love to hear from you. I'm turning up my mics. Oh, one moment. I did the same thing that I did last week, which was I started this without putting my mics directly in front of me. So I'm probably pretty quiet. I was finding myself turning up the preamps, but we are in fact out of position. Now we are spot on. Hopefully you hear me loud and clear and not too loud. Oh my goodness. Well, you all, I have to tell you, I rushed to get here because I was just about to start the stream. It was like 10:59 Central Time, and I got a notification on my phone that a guitar was being delivered, and I did not realize that signature was required for this one, so I had to jump in my car and go sign for that delivery. And as a result, I am sweating. In Texas, it is very, very hot. And I was wearing, at the time, a suit jacket. Now I could not bear to wear it because it is so unbelievably hot. But I made it back here with not too much time lost. And wanted to say hello to you all, check in with you, see how you're doing. Those of you that are tuning in live, please say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. What guitar are you looking forward to seeing today? I have to tell you, right now in my hands is this super cool Roberto de Miranda guitar, a very famous Italian luthier. Many artists have owned and recorded on these guitars. In fact, some of my favorites and good friends, Lorenzo Acheli and Matteo, a solo duo, both for a very long time recorded and performed on Roberto de Miranda guitars. Drew Henderson recorded on an 8-string, used to own an 8-string that he loved. And this one is an amazing example from the year 2023. Now, I have to be honest with you, shamefully, I have never played a De Miranda guitar as much as I've always heard from them. This one's from the year 2023, and it was built for the Roma Guitar Expo. So it actually bears the label REG 2023, it rhymes. And it says limited edition underneath De Miranda there, his label. And for those of you that don't know, the Roma Guitar Expo, which, if you rearrange it, it's Roma Expo Guitar, right? So that's where REG comes from. But that is where many Italian luthiers and dealers and players gather. It's like a festival of Italian luthiership, basically. And people will build very special models for this too, because it's, kind of like all eyes on your guitars there from your colleagues and fellow players and enthusiasts. And so many Italian luthiers choose to build a special guitar for that Roma Guitar Expo, and this is the one from 2023. I'm so excited to show it to you. Like I said, I shamefully have not had an experience with the De Miranda guitar, and this one is incredible, and it shocked me. Actually, there's some features that I did not realize he did on his guitars, and it's so much fun to learn these things about them. This guitar has a spruce top. It's fan bracing, not lattice or anything, with ziricote back and sides, which is just stunning. I mean, I have to say ziricote is just one of my favorite woods to look at. I mean, there's almost no piece of ziricote that bothers me or looks kind of less exciting. They're all just so beautiful. I love the darkness of the wood and the marks in it, these dark markings. It's so beautiful. And this guitar's craftsmanship is just beautiful. There's all these details, a really nice rosette. Simple, again, nothing too crazy. And then around the outside of the guitar, you'll see this purfling of a similar motif that's on the rosette here. And maybe you guys can see. I'm going to hold it up to the camera. There you go. Perfect. You see how nice those purflings are? Really, really cool. There's a raised fingerboard on this guitar. Now, that is something that I did not expect. Especially a lot of traditionally built guitars will avoid that, but I think it's a very nice feature, and it does improve playability. It's very nice. Now, it's a slight raised fingerboard. It doesn't really change the geometry of the guitar much. You may not even notice it right away. But it does push it up a few millimeters and makes it easier to access those upper frets by just a little bit. The neck, again, it's another thing that you really don't know until you really hear in detail a review or have a chance to play one. But the neck is very nice and thin. It's C-shaped, and now that is the beauty of it. It is a very thin and C-shaped. It's, you know what? It feels like almost one of my favorite ever necks, like the guitars made by Stephen Walter. They almost always sport these like thin C-shaped necks that I really like, so it feels familiar to me. Definitely no one would pick this up and say it's thick. It's a thin neck. Now I confess, sometimes thick necks for me are also very comfortable. However, I do think, at least for me personally, and this is such a personal thing, it's hardly worth sharing, but sometimes I get fatigued on the larger necks more quickly. For instance, if I'm playing a concert program, I can get by with a few pieces in a program, maybe even a half an hour program, but by the time it's an hour-long program, I might feel that fatigue a little bit more. So you have to hear this. Let me make sure it's in tune. Again, so sorry for the delay. By the way, who here is new, who hasn't tuned in before, or hasn't commented before? I'd love to hear from you. Let's see some comments here. Brian says, I interrupted my practice to watch this. Seems like a good reason to break. Oh, nice. Yeah, awesome, Brian. Currently practicing right now while watching this. Great. Awesome. What's up? And good morning from the Swamp, Florida. Hi, DSW. Good to see you. Oh my gosh, Drew says, my first Cedar de Miranda is the only guitar I regret selling. Oh, man, that hurts. I've got a few of those regret selling ones too. Although, you know what? I have to say, there's one guitar, I shouldn't say what it is really, so I don't want to hurt anyone either, but there's one guitar that I sold that I ended up selling to a student who still plays it to this day and tells me how much they love it. So that's such a nice thing, at least. Sometimes you sell guitars, you have no idea where it goes. But yeah, so this is a spruce de Miranda. Now, the head design, really like it, classy. This is the classic Manuel Ramirez headstock shape that you'll see mini makers kind of using for the most part today, maybe with little subtle differences. But with a very nice piece of, wow, I guess it's ziricote also on the headstock veneer. Almost looks like Brazilian rosewood. And then Alessi tuners with just such beautiful engravings. Look at these engravings on this de Miranda guitar, on those Alessi tuners. Isn't that nice? You almost never see them like that. I almost wonder if they did that as a favor or something very special for him. This guitar is like a chime when you're playing it. It's one of those guitars where the overtones are just so beautiful. I mean, listen to the G sharp. There are some guitars that make you really want to explore how loud you can play. Then there are some guitars that make you really want to explore how fast you can play. Then there are guitars that make you want to explore how much music you can make. And that's what this guitar is. It is not one that you will beat out a room of all the most modern guitars in terms of volume. It's not one that it just feels like a race car the moment you touch the string. It is one that makes you slow down, enjoy what you're playing, and explore what colors you can find. And I'm trying to demonstrate that here, and I apologize. While I also get to know this guitar, I have not recorded a full video on this guitar yet, so please understand, I'm also getting to know it. And many times these live streams, I know it sounds crazy, but many times these live streams are the first moments that I'm really getting to spend thoughtfully with the guitar, where I'm not changing the strings, just getting them in tune and that kind of stuff. Well, that second string is just sticking out to me. I mean, listen to this. Everything's so even. It's very clean. It's a very clean sound. It's bright, but not too bright. That fifth string, listen how when I play it, there's some authority, but it's actually ready to explode. Should I play it with a little bit more aggression? You hear that like Spanish energy to it. And each of these, I keep on discovering the different areas of the guitar where the notes just bloom beautifully. Listen to this. Wow. The richness of this sound is unbelievable. There are very few guitars, I have to say, where every string seems to exhibit something oddly beautiful that's hard to put your fingers on. Yet there's such a nice uniformity through the strings too. Listen to these basses again. I don't know. I want to hear this again. Hopefully you guys do too. Wow, so beautiful. Let's try Prelude 11 by Tárrega. A beautiful F sharp. It's honestly very hard for me to find a flaw in this guitar. It's so even, so colorful. I mean, as I ascend up this, first off, every one of those notes is just so present. Nothing's underwater or covered. Then here, the sustain. Listen how every note just has this like luscious ring to it, you know? Wow. Well, I'm going to have to stop playing this guitar. But the more I play it, the more qualities I discover. Roberto de Miranda, by the way, is the one I'm playing here from 2023. It's actually already on the website, but with no sound samples. You won't find a sound sample of this guitar anywhere, except right here. So you're hearing it first. This one is not going to last long. I'll tell you that. What a beautiful guitar. This one has a fret dot at the 7th fret. Alessi tuning machines. This is a beautiful ziricote back and sides. I see some nice comments here from you all about this guitar. Yeah, please let me know what you think if you haven't chimed in already. And if you're watching this after the fact, it's also fascinating to hear what you think, especially in retrospect after hearing all these guitars. By the way, can you guys give me a reading on the connection here, the video quality? I might change programs now that I'm on a much faster internet connection. I might use a program that's capable of a little bit higher quality, but I bet it's pretty high quality right now if you turn it on HD or 4K. Hi Don, hi AJ, hi Doinijan. Paul, what's up? Good to see you. Vincenzo, always at Roma Expo Guitars. I'll see you this upcoming year. Hi Mercado. This is one of these spruce top guitars that when you first pick it up, it's actually a little bit shy. I wonder if Drew's still here. I wonder if he had that kind of feeling with his De Miranda. It's shy at first, honestly, until I started driving it a little bit. Once I start driving a little bit, I feel it kind of waking up. Now I'm feeling like it requires less force to make it vibrate in a really wholesome way. Did I change these basses? Oh. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, wow. Good video quality today, Brian says. Thank you. Just incredible. I'm going to have to move on from this one, although I'm very fascinated getting to know this. So again, it's already on the website. I believe it's linked in the description of this video. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but if not, you'll find it. You'll find it on guitarcollection.com. And I will move on to the next guitar here. So that was De Miranda. The next one on the list here is now moving away from spruce permanently for this live stream. We are moving to a beautiful cedar top guitar by Jacopo and Giussani. This is a lattice brace instrument. It's a little bit heavier in the hands than the Mazza, for instance. It's heavier than the De Miranda, for instance, but it's not a super heavy guitar like something like a Smallman. Really gorgeous instrument, cedar top with this satin finish, so it's not super shiny. A very cool modern bridge look here, right? It's kind of like angled. A very nice simple rosette, which, you know what? I think it's very hard to make a rosette like this that's so breaking the typical classical guitar patterns that looks that nice. I mean, really cool. Looks like little gold bars. Look at this back and sides. Isn't that incredible? I'm actually gonna have to look up what this is. I want to say it's Madagascar rosewood, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. I'm gonna look at my own website as it goes. This one, okay, I'm gonna have to go to further in details here. Honduran rosewood. Okay, that's right. That makes sense for the glow of it, for the oranginess as well. Honduran rosewood on the back and sides. It's just gorgeous. This is Schaller tuners, grand tune. So, medium of the road tuners here, very, very smooth. A really striking, obvious Giussani headstock design. And just what an incredible guitar. I mean, listen to the sound. It's kind of funny because you almost immediately get that little preview of Cedar right away. You get a little bit of punch. So I have to be honest, immediately when you pick up this guitar, you feel that the sound is produced much easier. Now that is not a good thing or a bad thing per se, because some great guitars like that Miranda require a little bit more push and maybe are a little bit better for the player that really loves to push. This guitar, it's louder with less effort, which is what comes from more modern guitar designs like lattice bracing and double top. But I do immediately feel that I'm louder without having to push as much. Now, maybe that comes at some consequence. I'm not sure. We'll have to dig in some more here. But one thing's for sure is the volume is what struck me immediately on this guitar. By the way, all three of these guitars have the same exact strings on them. They're the D'Addario XTC 45FF set with the nylon first string. Now I have to be honest with you guys, this guitar did not just become available. It's been on the website for a little while. And it's one of those guitars that genuinely surprises me that it's still here. Because every time I take it out, I'm like, oh my gosh, people need to discover these guitars because Jacopo is making amazing instruments. And it's one that hasn't sold, maybe because it's not so much of a household name. I mean, De Miranda, much more known than Jacopo Giussani, or, Dahmen, or Mazza, Walter, Steve Connor. I mean, these I'm not going to go and name all the guitars on my website, but these are lesser known. Less players are playing on these days. They haven't discovered these guitars, and perhaps that's why. I'm not sure, because obviously the looks check out on this guitar. No, I mean, incredible. And then when you play it, sorry, the espresso machine's cleaning up in the background. It's got a very punchy sound that's very fun and exciting to play. Wow, it's a hot rod. It's so much fun to play, and it's got so much depth to it. I see a question here. I want to clear this up right away. Vincenzo, no, none of the two guitars I've shown you today are double tops. The first guitar by De Miranda, completely traditional bracing, no lattice, no double top. This guitar that I'm playing right now is lattice brace. There's no double top. And the very last guitar that I'll show you, the Fernando Mazza, is a double top. So only one of them is. But it just goes to show you how well these guitars are projecting. That makes you think that they are double tops. I gotta say, it's so much fun to play. It's very easy to play too. I forgot to mention, there are some things that, well, I'm not going to say traditional, that's totally the wrong word, but in the modern lens of playability, people are often looking for things like armrest or raised fingerboard. This guitar does not have that, or really thin neck. This guitar, no raised fingerboard, no armrest. That doesn't really matter that much to me, to be honest. It's sort of if the armrest fits the aesthetic of the guitar. But it's so easy to reach the upper frets. It is worth noting that the heel is very small, so your thumb can get really high up, and I always think that makes a difference. And I would never say that on this guitar anything's preventing me from reaching the upper frets. Isn't that nice? I mean, and the volume on this guitar really allows you to explore great dynamic range. Now, I actually wanted to talk about that subject for just a moment here, because I realize quite often an email or a message that I often am answering is one about volume. And I get a lot of emails from you all. I'm sure some people watching this might have the same idea in your mind as well. I get a lot of messages from people saying like, hey, Evan, I'm never going to be playing in a big concert hall like David Russell or Manuel Barrueco or Ana Vidovich. Or, I don't need a loud guitar, okay? So I'm just playing in my room for myself and sometimes my wife or my husband, whatever the case is. I don't need a loud guitar. And I totally understand that perspective. And certainly some people are looking at things, for instance, like competition players will certainly be looking for guitars that overtake the room with volume, you know, are able to project, are able to like compete. And volume is definitely seductive. In fact, you'll have to hear more on that subject and Drew Henderson talking about this in our Shopping Guitars with Drew Henderson video coming up. But I have to tell you that that is not the draw of modern guitars with volume. Lattice brace guitars and double top guitars. It's not just like you buy those guitars because you need to reach the back of a concert hall with your volume. At least that's not my perspective. I'm just trying to share with you as honestly as I feel about this. Because, look, I play concerts. Now, I don't play a lot of concerts. I don't play these days like something like 50 concerts a year or anything. Or I'm not competing anymore. But let me tell you this. I really enjoy a guitar that reaches really high volumes and also very low volumes in order to really exploit the dynamic range in the pieces that I'm playing. So for instance, you know, I always end up using this as an example because it starts out with a scale, but this piece by Sagreras, María Luisa. Let's just say that one little phrase. If it's a guitar that doesn't achieve a really high dynamic, you might be locked in with this. I'm going to show you like this. Now you're right. You do not need the guitar to be any louder for you to hear it or for your partner to hear it, for your dogs and cats to listen to it in your room. However, the more you can exploit this dynamic range, so how quiet you can go and how loud you can go, the more impactful your music actually is, right? So if my goal here is to start pianissimo and end up forte like this, and then sink back down to piano, let me show you. There's a lot that just happened in that moment from going from piano to forte back down to piano. That's very impactful musically, at least in my opinion, because of the dynamic range that I'm able to use. Or let's say I do this. Nice and pianissimo. This is the beginning of Julia Florida by Barrios. By the way, this guitar sounds lovely out of pianissimo. Listen to that thickness of the sixth string. And then I want to do this. You see, there is a range to explore here, and if you're otherwise just choosing a guitar that does not get loud, right? Just maybe it's a factory guitar, something that just doesn't have really a lot like high limits in that way. You may be hiding behind this type of thought that's like, well, I don't need a loud guitar, right? I'm just playing in my room, but in reality, we play quiet instruments that aren't so capable of dramatic dynamic range. I mean, you listen to a great pianist or a great violinist or cellist or clarinet player, anything really, besides a guitar in some ways. And there's just such a range of expression that comes from the volume levels that you're playing at. I mean, some instruments, they're playing so loud sometimes where you almost want to close your ears, and other times so quietly that you're like very drawn in. And I think that's a very important quality for a guitar to have, and one that is ultra fun to exploit when playing for an audience. I can think of many memories of playing in competition and in performance. This piece, Pavana Capricho by Albanese, where I did something like this. I'm actually not pushing too hard here because I realize I peak the microphone when I do. But anyways, that's a whimsical caprice. That's like what a caprice is like a whimsical piece. And I think the playing with the volume there really is quite a lot of fun. So, okay, that's the end of my little rant on volume and why it matters. And not only for players who want to play in a big concert hall. So if you want to rebuttal, please leave a comment or leave a message in chat. So Dalton says, hi, Evan. No, man, Evan is living the dream, showcasing and selling the nicest guitars in the world. Love how much the channel and the shop has grown. Hey, thanks, Dalton. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate that. In Indonesia, Solander says, play La Bamba. I'm okay. I'm going now. Thank you, Evan, for showing a beautiful guitar. Have a nice day. Hey, you're so welcome. Thanks for joining. And you said you're in Austin. That's cool. Let's play Prelude 11 by Tárrega. What a special instrument. Playing, as I play it more and more, I realize how open it sounds. And now, while this is an incredible, while it's a hand-built guitar, it's not at a price point that's getting into the stratosphere, or some of the most important, not important, I should say, some of the most desired guitars with super long wait list are into. This one is at an achievable price point for a serious guitarist. And it's brand new, built for our shop here. This is 2026. Of course, the Italian luthier Jacopo and Giussani. Just an incredible guitar. Cedar top, lattice braced, very nice Honduran rosewood back and sides. Just such a playable guitar with very low action. That's just so much fun. So let's move on. As much as I want to keep on playing that guitar. Man, we've got some powerhouses today, huh? Of Italian craftsmanship. Let me know what you guys are preferring so far. Would love to hear. And we're going a little overtime here today because I started, I think, a solid 15 minutes late because I had to go run home real quick. But last and certainly not least is this guitar that I received just like a couple of weeks ago. And I'm just now getting to having it photographed. And I haven't even recorded a video review on it yet. But this is a guitar by the Italian luthier that's picking up so much popularity for good reason, Fernando Mazza. Now, this guitar has all the bells and whistles. I mean, first off, it's double top. Then underneath the top, it's, wow. Wait, I was going to say lattice braced. Let me double check. I think that might be incorrect. No, okay. It is very lightly lattice braced. Okay, I'm not totally wrong. It's very small, thin braces, but you have fan bracing going this way and a few bars going this way, like 3. So it creates a pseudo lattice design underneath the top. Then you've got an armrest, really nicely integrated. A really cool rosette here that's iconic. I mean, you see this and you know it's Fernando Mazza. Talking about iconic, this headstock design. I mean, my gosh, is it pointy? But you see so many people playing them. I mean, people like Brandon Acker, Stephanie Jones, a ton really. Where did I just talk about this guitar? I felt like I just made a video on this. Maybe I did a live stream and I don't remember. Okay, there's more people. Ricardo Guillen, Cassie Martin. I'm just like scrolling through his website here. You all can too. But yeah, I mean, anyways, the list goes on and on. I don't want to just keep on naming names here. That's not what's important. But it is a guitar. These guitars are just picking up popularity everywhere. There are soundport. There's a soundport. Almost said soundports with also a removable cover, which is really neat. I'm going to leave it open because I quite like it open. And this was built for GuitarCollection.com. This is from 2026, double top. I asked him for high frets, a very low action. These are interesting. I've never seen these before. AR tuners. AR tuners. So bravo for picking something out of the ordinary with tuners. I think they look quite nice, and I think they don't look like a direct copy of anything, which is cool. Quite smooth, so I have to tune it a little bit. So immediately you just feel power with this guitar. Now, we were comparing some guitars. So myself and some friends were comparing some guitars the other day, and when we got this guitar in, we kind of noticed it's not one of those double top guitars that when you just play it, it's just like immediate volume. It's one that still likes to be pushed, and I think that's why you find players like Stephanie Jones and Andrea Gonzalez Caballero playing these instruments, because they're powerhouses. You know, they're not someone that's just or me. Just kidding. They're not players that just barely are plucking the strings and hoping everything is done for them. This guitar can be played quietly, but my first impression is actually not that it's like some crazy double top powerhouse, but as I play more into it, it retains so much of this character that you desire that just makes a guitar sound like a guitar, you know, not like a machine or race car. You see that? I'm not playing this guitar gently, and it does not bottom out on me. I think you can see what I mean. Pretty sweet, right? I'm going to tune it one more time. And one thing I also like is this port isn't so distorting of the sound to me. It is a giant port, which you can plug if you don't like those. But I feel that the guitar doesn't sound overly breathy or airy with the port. And I really do appreciate the fact that it sounds much more traditional than you would expect with a guitar that has all these bells and whistles. What I want to mention. Oh, you know what? When I was inspecting this guitar, putting a light inside, this is something I'm always doing. You guys can see this in the reviews. I was kind of wondering, I was like, wow, you really can't see through this double top so easily when you put a very bright light in. Now, this is due to several reasons. Of course, with cedar top guitars, you can not see through the tops quite as easily with light. In fact, if it's a solid top, like a Friedrich or something like that, you can't see through the top by putting light in with a cedar top. But with double tops, it's thin enough to where you can see through the layers. But on this guitar, I put the light inside. Now, it wasn't completely dark in here, but still, typically, as soon as you put a light inside on any double top guitar, you're going to see right through it. And I really couldn't see so clearly into the guitar. Now, I was wondering why. I was like, well, I see it's a balsa double top, but why can I not see through this so well? So I wrote to Fernando Mazza, and he tells me that the outer layer of wood, and for this reason, for preserving more of this like traditional sound, the outer layer of cedar is a little bit thicker than you would normally expect. So that's what's preventing some of the light going through. And also he tells me that's to prevent this like super percussive attack sound that you get on double tops, which I think is synonymous with the sound of like clickiness. That's another thing people will describe a lot of times with very responsive double tops. This one does not pick up that nail noise quite as clearly. So anyways, for the nerds out there, I thought I would share that detail, which I find fascinating. Hey Ken, hello from Chattanooga. Awesome, yeah. I have to stop somewhere. Again, I think the more I play this, and the more I've played this on so many guitars, this piece, Melodia de una Noite by Fonseca, the more I play on this guitar, the more I think if I was blind tested, I would not know it's a double top right away. I would probably think that this is a really great traditional guitar with tons of volume, and it has this nice purr to it. Well, that turns into a growl if you get aggressive. Wow, it's a hot rod, it's fun to play. Let's explore some of these strings individually, maybe even try some drop D. love the support I get from the bass on this guitar. There we go. Sorry, I was not accounting for the 20th fret on this one. Well, I feel so supported everywhere on this guitar. I have volume, I have nuance, beautiful colors. Really nice. And just beautiful, thick support in the basses. Yeah, as Adit says, fat bass sound. What's up, Adit? Good to see you. Have you completed your move? I hope everything's okay. Hi from Turkey. Oh my gosh. Hello. Ozan Kyatan? We've got a really cool Turkish comedian here in Austin that's hilarious. Gosh, I wish I could remember his name. I just saw a set of his last night. He has some hilarious jokes. Anyways, well, gosh, guys, I have to get going here. Sorry for running behind on today's stream, but thank you so much for watching. This has been so much fun. I have to say This set of Italian guitars today are just stunners. If I had to choose personally between the three, I would be very hard pressed to pick one. So that's why I'm leaving it up to you all, and I play these pieces and compare them. I do hope you enjoy, and for what it's worth, this Mazza is not public on the website yet, although I think there should be a link in the description to this guitar. I'm about to check. There is. Okay. So if you'd like the first shot at it, it is available, and the link is private to where not everyone can see it if they go to guitarcollection.com, but you all can. And the other two guitars are on the website. The De Miranda has never been heard before besides this stream. And the Giussani is a legend that is waiting for someone to pick that up and make the most of it. So thank you all so much, and I will see you in the next stream, and check out the release of the video tomorrow, this beautiful 1979 Friedrich. Talk to you soon. Thanks again for watching.